Words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. It was another day in paradise. The sun rose hot and fast. By the time we had pulled in the nets and rowed to shore, we were stripped down to our waists. When we got to shore, I grabbed a handful of figs and some dates and some almonds. It was wonderful the way things grew wild along the shores of the lake. Would anybody like an almond or two? God does provide wonders. Only I forgot my figs. Must have left them in my other robe. You get a little forgetful when you're 2,000 years old. Oh, maybe I should introduce myself. My name's Thomas. Well, we got the fish out of the boat, started cleaning them, and started selling them as people came by. Just as the time we were getting the nets out and stretching them up and starting to dry them and repair them, he came by. He had the dark skin of somebody who worked in the sun all day. And in those days, even carpenters worked outside because we had no indoor power. He had long, black, wavy hair and a bushy black beard. His hands were calloused, and he was strong. You could tell he was strong. You would be too if you used the hand tools that he had. He would have loved this and this. But he didn't have the hand tools that you had. He couldn't have made them. Looking at him, listening to him, you knew he was no pampered priest. You knew he knew truth. And the priests knew he knew truth too. It drove them nuts. He looked at us and said, "Follow me. I'll make you fishers of men and women." We had no idea that we'd be leaving our professions, leaving our lives, or we wouldn't be back for a long, long time. We just started listening and walking and talking. By the end of the day, we were miles away from home. And we were followers of the teacher Jesus. For 3 years, we walked and we talked and we learned. I saw the realm of heaven open around me in the kindness of Jesus, in the way he fed the hungry and took care of the poor, in the way people treated each other around him, in the way he treated the people who were considered sinners. It had nothing to do with increasing membership, nothing to do with increasing income. It had everything to do with the realm of God. Here and now. The love for God. The love for neighbor. It had everything to do with learning how to share. We lived in community, choosing to share what we had that everyone could survive. By the time of the Last Supper that we had with him, we knew something was going to happen. Everyone knew something was going to happen. You could feel the tension in the air. The temple authorities were out to get Jesus and us. The police were out in force. The Roman garrison was in town trying to keep the peace. And they didn't care who they hurt, as long as everything was done decently and in order.